Swept your first weekend. Just how did it feel to sort of hit the benchmark you wanted to going in?
Yeah, it felt good. I thought these guys played really well all weekend long, and it was important, especially having the opportunity to get the series and then the opportunity to get the sweep. I think it was important for that to happen.
You said that this team's just playing hot at the right time. What sort of goes into that? Is there just specifically with any position group, like, okay, that this group is doing this better, and that's why we're having success?
I just think in all areas, I think you see the things that we're doing on defense and turning the double play balls. I thought our pitchers were excellent. I mean, you're going to a park where the air is thin and the ball travels, and they did a great job of keeping the ball in the yard. So I love how they really attacked the hitters and just really executed the game plan. And then I think our hitters seeing different people come up and being clutch versus, having to depend on a couple. Like, we need everybody. So just seeing everybody making their contributions, I think was the reason why we did so well.
The pitching staff as a whole is coming together really well right now. I think it's 5 combined runs in 6 straight games. So how is it where you can kind of throw anyone out there and there's going to be zeros on the scoreboard?
I think for them, it's just important to continue to work ahead, to change speeds, and then to allow their defense to work behind them. I think when we get into trouble, we're not working ahead and having to throw extra pitches in each at bat. So I just thought they were really clean with how they were attacking the hitters.
Is there a way that you can kind of get them to that point where right now they are pitching ahead? Is there a way where if they're sort of out of that funk, you have like a trick where it's how to talk to each pitcher and it's, okay, we're getting back in now. We're getting back ahead in counts. We're resetting.
I think it's just them and where they are in the season, trusting in who they are, and what they're capable of doing on the mound, and then just trusting the people around them.
You mentioned the double plays, but the outfield actually showcased themselves pretty well this weekend too. Particularly Kai and Kedry. Can you just speak to the overall, defensive showcasing and how they really put that on display this weekend?
Yeah, I thought we had some. We talk about 50-50 plays. I thought we made some of those. Kedry had a great catch in right field. I think it's important, we want to make all the routine plays, but to have opportunity to make the 50-50 plays, I think that's both are game changing. And I think that was what was huge for us this weekend. Our defense has always been really good, but to consistently do what we need to do goes a long way.
For Kai in that play in game 1, running into the fence full speed, is that something as a coach you're like, yes, I'm happy you did that? Or it's like, that's a little too fast going into the fence?
No, I love it. She's a competitor. I'm just glad that after she hit the wall, she was okay. So, but no, love it. I love it.
That sort of tenacity in the outfield, is that just the competition you sort of want to be breeding out there, where every ball you want someone thinking, okay, I'm getting to that regardless of how it sort of looks off the bat?
Yes, for sure. And they have that expectation as well. So, our outfielders, our last line of defense. So, they're so crucial for us, and I think they've done a great job.
The base running, the focus has always been on being aggressive. This weekend, there were a couple of just oddities of runner interferences. You guys hadn't had one all season. All of a sudden, you have 2 in one game. But the team didn't let that kind of impact them. They continued on being aggressive, and actually, I think it was KK that had that really great stop where she almost got hit. And could you just speak to how the team kind of battled against that and persevered?
I think that's just the number one rule in softball is that, as a base runner, that you're not going to get tagged out or run into the defender. And you saw that happen to us twice, which is just that's not us. I think we run the bases really, really well. And sometimes it just happens. Sometimes you just have something that just doesn't quite go your way, and it happened twice. But I think what's been great with this team is they're just really caught up in what's in front of them, and it happened. There's nothing we can do about it. It's just about moving on to the next, the next play. So I think they've been doing a good job of that.
Speaking about what's in front of you guys, these next few weeks before the postseason hits, obviously the postseason has been a really big topic since we first talked to you before this season. And the girls seem like they know how important these next few weeks are before the postseason hits. Just what are some of your goals for the team other than winning, obviously, to help prepare you guys? Not that you're not prepared now, because you are, but prepare you guys for what you're going to face in the postseason.
I think just the Pac-12 alone prepares us for postseason, whether we like it or not. You look in the majority of the games that we played in have been games that we've had to grind it out all the way to the final out of the game. And I think just that right alone there on its own is going to do a lot for us. You don't have you play a tough game. You don't have a lot of breathing room. You've got to be really clean with what you do. You've got to get over things quickly if they didn't go your way. And you got to look for different people to step up. But to me, those are the things that I'm seeing with our team right now that's allowing us to play well. They know what we need to do. To me, it makes no sense to want big things and to go on this journey and then hide things from them. We all completely understand what we need to do moving forward. And I just want us to continue to play the way that we're playing. I love how caught up in the process that we are, caught up in things that we're trying to accomplish throughout the game. I think that has really been great for this team.
How cognizant are you about just what needs to be done in terms of putting yourself in a position to host postseason play, and then in terms of translating that to the team? Is that something you get caught up in a little bit, or is it not something you worry about?
Yeah. No, again, I think if that's the journey that we want to go on, we have to present that journey to them. So I'm very aware of what we need to do. Our team's very aware. We would love more than anything to host a regional at the Jane. Since my first year, that's all we've talked about. And to have the senior class in their final year be able to host at the Jane would be unbelievable.
Was that one of those goals sort of at the beginning of the year that you were like, we want to host a regional at home?
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about going further than we've ever gone and to be able to host. Those have been our two things that we are wanting to do this year.
Having a deep staff is something that you're really blessed with this season. But not only deep, but they're all starting to kind of peak at the right time, kind of coming into their own, particularly Reggie in that second game. I thought that was perhaps her best outing of the season. Could you just speak to, how that's all kind of coming together?
Yeah, I think with the pitching staff, they're a team within the team, and they are coming together. You could see at times this year where we'd have maybe one that's kind of hot, couples that are trying to figure it out, where it's sticking out like that. And I think you're starting to see them work together, which is what we need to do. We need to have staff. We've talked about having a staff since day one. It's just this league and the schedule that we have, it's too tough to depend on solely one and maybe another. I thought Reggie coming on Saturday and giving us 6 innings was big time, and we need that from her. I mean, she does a good job of making the opponent put the ball on the ground, and we totally believe in our defense. So I think it's a great combination.
What are you expecting out of Arizona this week? And I know they took the series in Tucson last year, but they've kind of taken some lumps this season in conference play.
It's interesting because you can look at everybody's records and what it looks like, and to me, it doesn't even matter. I just think the pack is so potent that it's going to be a battle this weekend, and they've had some struggles this year. I don't even think about that. I don't think our team does as well. They're potent at the plate. They've got a lot of power. They've got slappers. They've got speed. They've got a pitching staff as well. So I think it's a very good matchup between the two teams. I think it's going to be about which team's able to execute and come up clutch in big moments. That's going to allow to take the series.
And getting to see Allie drafted this weekend, what did that mean for you?
Love it. I think of Allie when she first got here, and she was so quiet and just trying to figure things out. And I think of her now, and she's like our leader and general on defense. And just when you talk about the word clutch, that's her, So I think every one of them want to hear their name called, to have the opportunity to play after college softball. So I think for her, all of us to listen to her name being called, to be able to go play in the league. I know she's excited. We're all thrilled for her. And it's just all of her hard work, everything that she's done in these, in her career here to give her that opportunity. So I'm excited, but we still have a lot to do here. So when that gets here, it gets here.
And then Tara kind of released a statement saying, like, I'm going in this way. I'm not kind of focusing on softball right now. Are those kind of talks that have been kind of ongoing this season?
Yeah, I mean, it's, as these guys are each year, as they're coming back, we're talking about what their major is looking like and softball and all of them, that as student athletes. But then as they're getting ready to move on their way out, we start talking to them about what's next. So I think Tara's got tremendous opportunities in anything that she wants to do. So I'm excited to see what that looks like as well.
It looked like you had, at least back in uniform, obviously she didn't pitch, but could you speak to what that could present, an option that it would give you moving forward, another arm that people haven't seen before?
Yeah, I mean, the scout, there's not a lot of scout on her. So to have that late in the season would be great. So we're just still kind of taking it one day at a time to see what it's going to look like.
With Alyssa, she had a little bit of a slower start to conference play, but last weekend hits the home run in game 1, home run in game 3, had 2 more that went to the warning track. What did you see from her sort of just putting it together last weekend?
I would say just, I think Alyssa's got a beautiful swing. She's got a ton of power. So I think she's just, we're at a time in the year where these guys, we've played a ton of pack. We played, the majority of our season. It's just they're figuring some things out that are allowing them to, put themselves in a really good position as individuals and also as a team late in the season. So I love what she's doing. I mean, that's why we brought her here, because of the power that she brings. So I would love for her to continue doing what she's doing the rest of the way.
One question I just want, were the jalapenos hotter down there?
Yeah. They're hot and I don't care. I'll eat a whole jar of them if that's what it takes. So, but no, it's been fun. It's been fun doing that. I think, it's a long season and all the hard work that we put in preparing for teams, preparing on, physically for the games, you got to keep things light and fun to go along with it. So I think this team has done a really good job of that too.